Stop right now if you're thinking about stepping a single foot into final expense insurance sales. I'm going to give you the facts that you really need to know before you step a toe into this dynamic industry. It's amazing, but you need to see these things before you go all in and say, I do. If you're taking notes, 4 tips coming at you hot and heavy. Tip number 1, you got to know that this industry has enough people in the demographic that you want to serve so that you can even have a chance of making the dollars. So many folks step into a vertical and then there's not enough people to even see, or it's a very expensive playground to even purchase the leads for. Very important that you know that you've got enough prospects to be able to be powerful in that space. So this is a very important fact that you need to understand about the final expense demographic. Point number 1, 11,000 people. 11,000 people are turning age 65 every single day and will do so for the next 10 years, the next decade. Do you know how powerful that is if you're thinking about stepping a foot into final expense insurance sales? This is a big deal. It doesn't matter if you use the telephone to transact. It doesn't matter if you're a face-to-face insurance agent doing the work. You need to understand this is a powerful thing to grasp. If you want to have a chance of getting success, you got to have enough people to see. You've heard it said, the more hands you shake, the more money you can make. This is dynamic. Tip number 1, 11,000 people are turning age 65 every single day and will do so for the next decade. That means you're going to have this just constant refreshment of people that you can go get in front of. This is a big deal. So your state that maybe you work in, you're like, are there enough leads in my state for me to sustain the chance of success? Absolutely yes. All right. So if you're thinking about the industry, be intentional about that. You need to know, are there enough people that I can prospect to? The answer on tip number 1, yes. An insane level of prospects constantly pouring in like a spring that's refreshing everything for you and will not stop for the next 10 years. Very important piece of data that you need to know. That's a big deal to me. I hope it's a big deal to you. Now, number 2 is a big deal. A lot of times agents are worried about the economy, how it's going to affect your clients' portfolios, right? If maybe they're in a certain market, or maybe you're wondering how it's going to affect your clients' income streams, where if you're in a state where the economy is not great, you want to know this data. When you're dealing with a 65-year-old or a person that's retired or on disability, the dollars are actually recession proof. You need to realize this. This is a big darn deal. You want to know that the people that you prospect actually have a sustainable paycheck so that you can see the business stick and stay and be on the books. If they can't pay the premium, the policy's not going to last, which means you're going to get a lot of debt, a lot of chargebacks because you sold it, but it didn't stay on the books, meaning you're getting a bill because it didn't do so. So stability and security of your prospect's income is a powerful thing you need to know. That's a huge fact. And you're going to find that in the final expense market, you're targeting people that are dynamic. They've got security of their income because their income comes through Social Security. They're not depending on a job, a job. And that job, if you're working with, let's say, a mortgage prospect or a term prospect, that person's very dependent on their job. Their wife and their husband, okay, may both be working. So if they cut their hours or somebody loses their job, you know what the first thing that gets cut? That mortgage insurance, that big term policy. That's the first thing getting thrown out the window. All right. Just like Jonah on the boat. Whoop, you got to go. I'm telling you, that's the first thing that's going to hurt you in the mortgage space. In the final expense insurance space, it's dynamic. Social Security pays them like a stream that never stops. Every month, here comes their money. If they're on disability, every first or the third, here comes their money. It's very important to understand, where does the money come from to my prospects' hands so that I can have a chance of keeping the business on the books, which keeps your profitability going. So watch this video, by the way, on how these great clients get paid. Talks about how to use this data to keep those dollars on the books. It's up above, talks about how our clients are paid, but a secure stream of income and stability is very important because our prospects are not dependent on getting paid by an employer. They're not worried about the job market. They're not worrying about getting enough hours so they can have enough money to pay your premium. Very, very critical to you making the right decision on this market. But security of income, tip number 2, is a very important fact that you're going to find is a blessing in this market because they're paid. And if they're not paid on the first and the third, or paid on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday, well, you know what? At that point, we're probably all speaking a different language in this country and living in a hole. Highly unrealistic. But security of income, big deal in this space when you're trying to decide about a vertical or a job market to jump into. Now, number 3 is a big deal because you understand you got 11,000 people turning age 65 every single day. Dynamic data for you to know. Security of income, hallelujah. They've got stability, powerful thing to know for your chance of profitability. So you got all these people and they're all paid typically on these dates. Okay, great. Steady stream of dollars. They don't have to work. Perfect. Would you like to be able to control your schedule? Would you like to be able to work decent hours, or do you want to work late nights and work weekends all the time because you have to get in front of your prospects? When you're working with a client that is not retired, when you're working with younger people, they work 8 to 5. They're working, let's say 8 to 5, and they got an hour commute, and then they want to eat dinner. Do you really think they want to get in front of you to sell them a policy? A younger demographic has some of the worst hours for you to try to have a chance of making a living in. All right. You're going to realize that if you work a younger demographic, that's not final expense. You're going to be dealing with late nights. You're always working weekends, and you're not going to be home with your family potentially. Understand that time is our most valuable resource. And a lot of folks get into insurance sales for independence. And then if you get in the wrong vertical, you found out the independence that you desired didn't take place. So in the final expense space, your clients are retired and disabled, or maybe both. Great people. We love serving them. They don't have to spend their days and their nights and their weekends working, which means your schedule can be what you desire it to be. Their schedule's white space on the calendar most times. They are not working. They're paid once a month, maybe twice a month if they've got a pension, my friends. So you're going to find that the final expense space has some of the most amazing freedom to work. You can say, I just want to work 8 to 5. I want to be a part-time agent and I choose to work weekends because maybe you, my friends, are trying to find powerful levels of part-time success selling final expense insurance. Success isn't guaranteed because it's a performance-based business, but this is powerful for you that you can put the work in and work the hours that you choose because your demographic has already done the heavy lifting. They have a retirement check or a social security income check or a disability check so that this will check the box off that when you call, you can have a dynamic conversation and talk about the sale. So you've got the ability to be able to work when you, as an insurance agent, decide to work. If you want to work weekends as a part-time agent, phenomenal. If you want to work nights, phenomenal if you choose to. But most full-time final expense agents do not have to work all the weekends. They don't have to work any weekends if they don't choose to. They could say, I'm going to work just Monday through Friday. I'm going to work 8 to 5, and then I can hang it up. This is important. You're calling prospects that are home. If now on the first and the third, if that's when they're paid, let me tell you, they're probably not going to be home. They're spending their money. If it's when a client gets paid on the third Wednesday of the month, the second Wednesday of the month, the fourth Wednesday of the month, they're going to be gone most likely at the store. Go to your grocery store on the first or the third or the second or third Wednesday of the month, and you go find out how busy it is. This is the truth. But your timetable is yours to control. Now, that doesn't mean you can just sit back on your couch and not do the work and expect to find the wealth. Biggest lie in the industry. This industry is dynamic, but you got to do the work. You got to have the discipline to have a chance of even making the dollars. But you have the ability to write your own schedule and you can see prospects in your way in your calendar and increase your wallet when you make sales. This is a big deal. You want to work 8 to 5. You want to work up. Oh, my kid's got something in the morning, so I'm going to work 9 to 6 tomorrow. Perfect. You want to do a half day? Good. Go hustle on the rest of the hours, and then maybe pencil in some other times to be powerful to get in front of these prospects. You don't have to worry about them working and them not being there. All right. So serving a retired or disabled demographic is a blessing because it removes the burden of you having to work nights and weekends and not having a lot of people to talk to. It's a unlimited stream of folks to see when you have an unlimited pipeline of leads pouring into you, or you've got a big door knock list if you're a face-to-face insurance agent in addition to. So very important that you can control time. Something to think about when you're first thinking about getting into the industry. Now, number 4 is a big deal, is leads. Leads are pretty low cost because you've got a lot of people to see. It's a pipeline of folks that are constantly needing you. They're low income typically, or no income, meaning they've got an insane need for life insurance. They have an insane need for final expense insurance so they can take care of their families. This is a big deal. Unlimited leads, that you're not going to run out of people. You could work one state and keep buying statewide leads, and you're not going to run out of folks. You could take care of direct mail leads in your local cities, and you're not going to run out of people to see because 11,000 people are turning age 65 constantly. This is something to count your cost here. Powerful, but leads are insanely low cost when you go statewide, especially in final expense telesales for exclusive leads, because there's a lot of people out there. You're not going to run out of people to see. That's so important in sales, because if your pipeline stops, you're going to the poorhouse, my friends. So having a demographic where it's just unending, that's a big deal. In the mortgage space, a lot of those insurance agents are getting hurt. When the interest rates were low, they had a lot of prospects. Well, right now interest rates are high. The only people that are refinancing are seniors. So they basically bought an overpriced final expense lead. That's what they did to themselves. It's not a lot of young folks buying houses. So you're going to find that this demographic is dynamic. 11,000 people, point number 1, are turning age 65 every day. Insane security of their client's income stream, which allows you to have the chance to cash flow because they're paid and they're not worried about the job market. Number 3, you can control your time. Don't have to work weekends unless you choose to. Don't have to work nights unless you choose to. And by the way, an extra bonus tip, don't quit your part-time day job until you've duplicated your income and found success. Please just hustle like you want to leave your W-2. Once you've duplicated your income, then fine, go quit your day job. But don't be quitting your day job thinking the business is just easy street. It'll get you hurt, and I want to warn you there. All right. Now, you can do powerful things in this space, but you want to duplicate the income before you leave your day job when you jump into insurance sales. But leads are super low cost. You can get a lot of them. You can get aged leads for well under $2 a piece. You can get exclusive leads depending on what agency that you partner with. And we do partner with powerful insurance agents, and we recruit agencies as well at jasonfinalexpense.com. Please reach out if you need any resources, but we can get exclusive leads, life insurance leads statewide. We're talking like $5 a piece. Phenomenal for our work family agents. But having a low cost lead and having a lot of them gives you a lot of at-bats, which gives you a better chance of making the bucks. But remember, my friends, it's a performance-based business. You got to be a top performer to have the best chance of having take-home pay. And if you're not selling, my friends, you're starving in this space. It's kind of an eat what you kill industry, but it's an amazing industry, amazing prospects. These sweet people that sometimes have some health things that they never signed up for. They've on Social Security, they're retired. They need you. They're low income. Sometimes they don't have much income at all, and they have a very deep need to have a life insurance policy to take care of their families. And you know what? You get to be that first person that can bless that person with maybe a policy that will protect everyone that they love. And you may find you love this industry, but it's not the easiest industry, but it's very simple. Go see a lot of people, sell a lot of policies. Then you know what? You got a stream of folks that are always paid, allowing you the chance to keep that business on the books. And hopefully you're going to make the bucks and love, more importantly, meeting the needs of these great clients. So I hope this gives you the data that you need. Enjoy that video up above on how your clients are paid. And I hope you find insane levels of success and mitigate your chance of becoming a statistic in a really good industry. We'll see you soon, my friends. And remember, you've got what it takes. We'll see you soon.